Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are giving you a tour of every room on Amtrak Superliner trains.
Alright, we are so excited to bring you this video because it is widely requested to know what all the different room types look like on a Superliner train. So we're going to show you inside each room, and then we're going to give you an idea of which ones we would pick and which ones you should pick for your use case scenario. But before we do that, you need to know which trains Superliners are on. So generally speaking, if you are going west of Chicago, that's going to be a Superliner, but I'm going to let you know what trains those are right now. That's going to be the Auto Train, the California Zephyr, the Capital Limited, the City of New Orleans, the Coast Starlight, the Empire Builder, the Southwest Chief, the Sunset Limited, and the Texas Eagle. So we've got a map here that we've had on the screen showing you those. If you want to get that map and look at it yourself a little more in depth, it's going to be on our website, groundandlifetravel.com. You can go there and download that or the Viewliner map to get an idea of which route you'll be on. But those are the trains that you're going to get these Superliners on. And what's unique about a Superliner train?
Well, the unique thing about a Superliner train is that there's rooms and there's two floors. In coach as well, there's two floors of rooms. There's an upper level and a lower level as well, and then also the rooms are different from a Viewliner in that there's no facilities in the roomettes as opposed to the ones on the Viewliner that do in some cases have some facilities inside the roomettes. So those are the main differences between the Viewliner and the Superliner.
You will notice also that the Superliner rooms, they're going to be not as much headspace because they are double level trains. You will have less room height wise than on a Viewliner train.
Inside the room.
Inside the room. So when you're on a Superliner, there's two types of cars you can get, a Superliner 1 and a Superliner 2. Superliner 2 are obviously newer, but on the Superliner trains there really is almost no discernible difference between a 1 or a 2. So on the Superliner, we say don't worry about it, whether you get the 1 or the 2. Actually, we like the 1 better.
I know.
Because the Superliner 1 trains have bigger bathrooms. So we'll let you know more about that. But
we'll show you that.
If you get on a Superliner 1 train, it's not bad. Bigger bathrooms. So let's jump right in and talk about what these rooms are going to look like. And I'm going to give you a quick tour of our Superliner 1 roomette that we are in. We are staying in this 2 nights and 3 days, and it basically consists of 2 seats on either side. One is going to be facing direction of travel, which is this one, and this one is facing backwards. That's the one that I'll be sitting in. And at night, these 2 seats basically come together. This top part, you push down on that. There's a little lever down here that you step on, and these fold down to make one continuous flat bed. And then the second person, which is me, sleeps on this bad boy right here, which pulls down like this. So that's what we'll be showing in just a minute. You do have a table that goes in between the seats that pulls out like this, and these flaps open up. I think we may be eating dinner in here tonight, so we'll be able to show you what that's like. And then you do have a couple of lights here. It's kind of basic as far as what you get in these rooms. You basically got a light, a hold to call button, and then a ceiling light. That's it. So you've got that light, and you can call your attendant from that side. Now over here, Allie does have a thermostat, which honestly really doesn't do a whole lot. And then this is the electrical outlet, which we have jammed our big power pack in that, because this power pack lets us not only have something plugged in here, but we also have 4 USB outlets with that. So you definitely want to bring something like that when you're on one of these Amtrak roomettes, because you only get 1 outlet. We all know that's not enough if you're going to be taking pictures and videos and so forth. So you also have a little hook up here And then this is interesting. There is another coat hook here, but this is, I heard them describe it as a walk-in closet. You'd have to be pretty small to walk in there though. The other thing about this closet is there's two hangers that hang right there. Your first night on the trip, those will be banging around, and you'll probably just want to take them off and put them on the floor. Otherwise, they're going to wake you up in the middle of the night. So going upstairs, we use these steps. That's what I'll be climbing up, and we just store Allie's backpack there during the day. At night, we put it under this bed right here, and then I have free reign to climb up. So let me show you what it looks like up here. You just pull this handle down, and then the bed comes all the way down, and this is what it looks like. But we've got kind of her bedding and pillow in there up there right now. So it is pretty tight up here, I'm not gonna lie about that. It is much tighter than a viewliner, so whoever is gonna sleep up here needs to be comfortable in pretty small spaces. And you know, it's not bad though. I don't ever have a problem. I'm not claustrophobic, but if you were, you probably want to be in the bottom. But if you're not claustrophobic, you won't have any problem. So over here, unfortunately, there's no windows on this unit. There is a little net here to keep snacks and drinks, and I keep my headphones in there. And then there's another pouch back here. It's a little more sturdy, and so when I go to sleep at night up there, I generally put my phone and my glasses in that one, because if you put them in this net, you could probably break them pretty easily. So up here, there aren't really any controls other than you have access to this light right here, which you do by hitting this button right here. So pretty basic controls up top here. Now, this is what the mattress looks like. It's, you know, it's about 1.5 to 2 inches thin. So there's one under here. This one is actually for the downstairs bed. It goes down and lays across these seats, and then this one, which is kind of sitting in here, is mine. And so Allie thinks that the downstairs is fine with just these. These are actually pretty. You can see how soft that is. So we just stick both of these up here, and I actually use both the mattresses. Now, the downside to that is it does take 2 inches away from your roof height there, but that's not a problem. One other thing I wanted to point out is that this air vent here is on differently than any other roomette air vent that I've ever seen. So this one is blowing towards the door. Most of them, in fact every other roomette I've ever seen, which is a lot of them, they're the other way, and the air vents are blowing right on the person on the top bunk. And so we get a lot of complaints from people that they're always really cold at night. So I don't know what's going on with this. This is something new, but I think a lot of people are going to be happy, because last night when I tried it, the air just blew off of this, kind of filtered down the whole cabin. There was no direct air on me at all, but the room was still nice and cool. So that is the roomette on the Superliner 1, and hope you enjoyed it. It is a great room. It is our favorite room because the bathrooms on the Superliner 1 are better than the Superliner 2. So if you get a 1, don't think you're getting something lesser. Superliner 1 is, I think, the way to go on a Superliner. All right, once you get in the bathroom, all you have to do is slide that little handle and the light will light up. That lets you know you're locked in. And this is a Superliner 1, I believe, and it has the nicer bathrooms than the Superliner 2. So if you're in a Superliner 2, see if there's a Superliner 1 you can walk through. The toilets are angled, so there's a lot more space. On the other ones, they're just kind of straight, and you run out of space real quick on those. The other thing is these faucets are much taller, a lot more room, and the water stays on when you hit it, which is really good. So this is probably, I'd say, one of the better Amtrak bathrooms. You do have 3 of them, like I said, down here, 1 upstairs. There's not many people down here, so these are almost always empty. And then the shower is right across the hall. Let's go check that out. same deal in here. You're just gonna slide that lock, light comes on, and you do have a place for dirty towels, so no one has showered today. Have all these towels that you can put there, and kind of a seat to sit on, and a pretty big shower actually. You've got a two-step process here. So what they're telling you to do is to set the temperature here with number 1, and then hit the button there, push it for number 2. You do that, the water's gonna come out right there. So I'm gonna hop out before I accidentally do that, because I don't want to take a shower right now. And that's a shower in Amtrak. A lot of people ask if you have to wait, or you have to pay, or if there's a time limit. Showers are free, there is no time limit. And quite honestly, in all the Amtrak rides I've ever taken, I've never seen anyone take a shower. I have taken them though, but I've never seen anyone else getting in or getting out of it. So if you come down here and you want to take a shower, it'll almost assuredly be empty. All right, so as you saw, that is the Superliner 1 roomette, which is the smallest and the cheapest room, usually, that you can get on Amtrak. And we like the Superliner 1, as we said. Those bathrooms are a little bit bigger, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of difference. They do have that closet door on the 1, which, as you'll see next, has been taken out of the 2. Yeah, and it gives you a little bit more space. So other than that, there's really no difference. Price-wise for roomette, we usually get them for between $500 and $600, I would say.
And that's the price for both of us with everything included, which your ticket price does include your meals and 2 checked luggage pieces each if you're traveling with a lot of luggage.
Right. Yeah, so if you book ahead of time, well ahead of time, you're in the Amtrak Guest Rewards, you're going to get the best deal. You look out for a sale, that can also help, but generally, the best thing to do is just book as early as possible, because you're going to get the best price. Now, if you've waited and it's June and you're trying to book for July, you are either not going to get one, or it's going to be like $1,200, $1,500 because the price is going to go way up. So the key thing when you're planning these Amtrak trips, book way out in advance, because that's how you get them for $500, $600. Don't travel in summer, and go ahead of time.
Yes, and there are sales. More often than not, it's not worth it to wait for a sale and just go ahead and secure the good rate that you can get by booking way in advance. We do, on our website, groundedlifetravel.com, do have an entire article written about how you can get different kinds of discounts in different situations. So you may want to take a look at that as well, because there are some possibilities for different groups to get discounts there as well.
Yeah. So let's jump in and take a look at the Superliner Roomette, the Superliner 2 Roomette, which is not a whole lot different, but you're going to see what they've updated from the 1 to the 2.
You're going to start out with this is how you would ride during the day. So the seats are facing each other, just like all the other rooms. Seats in the Viewliner, in the Superliner 2 are a little bit wider. They're actually 28 inches, so a little bit wider than in the Superliner 1. Here, you're going to find at this seat the push to call button for your attendant. So you push this and it rings a little bell, lights up a bell outside your door, kind of like you would on a plane, and your attendant knows which room has called them, and they come and take care of anything that you need. And then here are your light switches for overhead, night light, or all the way off. Now this says music control, but this is actually to control the sound overhead. So any announcements that they make, you're going to control those here. We like it all the way off because we feel like the hallway one is loud enough that we can always hear it in here in the room. But if you feel like you need that turned up, then obviously you adjust it so that you can hear it. And then you also have a reading light on this side, which you can actually adjust up, down, or to the side a little bit, and just press on with that white button. And then you each have your window here that you can look out of. Right now we are riding through New Mexico, just left Albuquerque on our way to Gallup, and right here is the other side. So here's what there, you notice there wasn't an outlet on the other side, so there's only one in the room. That's the same thing with the Superliner 1 as well. So you only have this one. So we tend to bring a little cube with us where you can do 2 or 4 different USB items. And then this one here is going to adjust your temperature. Now, keep in mind that this isn't going to be a drastic change in temperature in your room. So when you make it cooler, like we have it as cold as it goes, it's not like it's going to be freezing. You're not going to turn into an ice block in your in your room. Same thing if you go warmer, it's not like, you know, you turn on the fireplace or something in your room. So just know it's going to make a little bit of a difference, not an enormous difference in your room. On the view line, on the Superliner too, and then you've got your night reading light here as well. So that's that. Over here is kind of your closet area. So you could hang some things right here. And then if you wanted to strap those things in to keep them from swaying as you're moving in the train, you could do that. Rob stores his big bag right here that we keep with us with his electronics and all that fun stuff. And then there's also a little bit of storage right here between the seat and the closet area, and there's also storage in here. So there's lots of places to put things, I think. That's actually my toiletry bag I keep down there. You can actually keep more stuff down there if you want. There's also storage underneath the seats. You can see a black bag here, and then Rob's sneakers, and underneath here I keep my backpack. So we've got lots of storage in here, and as I mentioned before, you can also put something there, but you don't want to block these steps if you're storing something there, because it's actually going to impede the person that's above from coming down. We just do this during the day when nobody's using the top bunk. And then right here in the center, you've got this nice table. Pull that out. You could use that for working, reading, playing games, and also if you would like to have your meal in your room. So lots of really good space here in the room, and you do have quite a bit of privacy. If you look here, you'll see this curtain panel, and then you'll see this curtain panel. There's also actually a mirror here if you want to kind of get cleaned up a little bit before you leave the room. So you'll have here, and then this is actually a big window that goes out to the hallway, and it's secured by Velcro, so it's nice because it's not going to open up on you. Same thing with this one. This is actually the door, and it's going to open up, and now it has this flip lock here.
Okay, I made it into the bathroom, and all 3 of these bathrooms are the same. Actually, there's one upstairs that is exactly like this as well. So it's pretty tight in here. There's a handle you can hold, and a changing table. But other than that, it's pretty much a closet. So smaller sink too. On the Superliner ones, some of them have bigger sinks that are easier to manage. So yeah, if you can find the Superliner one, I recommend you do that. But like I said, there's no way of knowing because they don't even know which one you're going to get depending on if a train is late or they have to swap them out for a mechanical thing or issues. So there's really no way to know. Just check it out when you get on the train. Alright, I'm going to show you the shower for this Superliner 2 car, and the shower is on the lower level of the sleeper car, and it is a pretty good shower. You do have a head that can come off there and hold hot and cold water, and pretty big shower. It's bigger than a cruise ship would be. They do provide towels down here and then a place to put them when you are done. Little hook there for your towels. So this is for the sleeper car passengers, and it's really great to use because on a couple-day overnight trip like this one on the Southwest Chief, you're going to want that probably after the first day for sure.
Okay, so as Rob said, they're fairly similar. The bigger difference there is, of course, the bathroom facilities available, what those are like. They're a little bit smaller, as you saw. And here's the thing is, a lot of people ask us, well, I'd like to get the Superliner 1, or I like the 2. That's great, and we also have our preference. However, you do not get to choose what you get, because basically they change. Even if you've been on that train before, as we have, and you've been on that train numbered car before, it can still be a different car because they do rotate the cars around so that they're not always the same. They rotate it from one way to a different way. You know, when they're coming back, they rotate the numbers around some, so you cannot choose if you're in a 1 or a 2. you just get the luck of the draw.
Usually each train going will have 1 1 and 1 2. So if you're in a 1 and you wanted a 2, there's not much you can do about that. But that does mean also that if you're in a 2 and you have to walk through the 1 when you're walking through, there'll be bigger bathrooms.
Yeah, you could always go to the restroom there. It's not usually a problem.
What you can do, though, is pick which level you want to be on. Roomettes are the only type of room that are on both the upper and the lower level. So we prefer the upper level for a variety of reasons. That is, you're on the same level as the observation car, you're on the same level as the dining car, and you have better views.
Right.
A lot of these Amtrak trains, the lower level, the view may be obstructed by trees because you can't really see over it that well.
Right.
So,
and then the other issue too, also a lot of the tracks run close to the sites and the views, and because you're running close to them, you don't get to see them as well because you're too low in the viewing range.
The other room that we would avoid is the room right next to the family bedroom. Which is downstairs. It's the one right next to the family bedroom. We would avoid that one because we've noticed that the walls between the roomettes are very soundproof, actually, especially on the upper level. On the lower level, that one between the family bedroom and the roomette, it seems like the wall is almost non-existent. Like you can hear everything.
It's like you're in the room.
It's like you're in the room with them. So you don't want. That's probably our least favorite room on all the trains, is the roomette right next to the family bedroom.
Right.
Unless you want to hear what another family's doing the whole trip, but not recommended.
I don't think anyone wants that.
So you can do that. You will be assigned when you book your ticket a room number. So the lower number rooms, like 1 is going to be the attendance room. 2,
usually, yes.
2, the lower single-digit rooms are on the upper level as a rule of thumb. And the
1 through 10 are always upstairs.
And then
you get into the
that,
teens, then you're going to be downstairs. 12, 13, 14,
yeah.
11, 12, 13, 14 are all downstairs. And those are right by either the stairs, or you're either going to be by the stairs and the luggage rack, which are the first 2 rooms you encounter. The next 2 rooms are the ones Rob was talking about, right next to the family bedroom. And then the family bedroom is on the end.
Yeah. So if you want to be downstairs, there are more bathrooms down there. There's 3 bathrooms on the lower level, only 1 bathroom on the upper level. There are some reasons you may want to be down there if you have trouble getting on and off the train. That would be another reason to be down there if you have a few mobility issues. There are stairs going up to the upper level that are a little tough to navigate for some people.
Yes.
So there are reasons to be downstairs, but if you don't have those issues, you should try to get an upstairs room. And the way to do that is after you've booked your ticket, they'll assign you a room, then you just call in to the Amtrak customer service and they can switch you a room to the upstairs
if it's available.
It's available, and that's free to do that. We have heard a couple people say they tried to change their ticket. That doesn't need to happen. It's just free to change the room number.
Yeah, they can change your room easily. That's not a problem as long as it's available. It won't cost you any more to do that.
All right, so let's take a look at the Superliner bedrooms now, and there's very little difference. You really can't even tell the difference. We almost never know which one we're in, the 1 or the 2. So let's take a look at what those look like right now.
All right, there's a lot to talk about here. So let's start over here in this corner. First of all, this is your sink area. You're gonna have your trash here, which is a much bigger bin area than you normally have in a roomette. And you've got a little medicine cabinet type thing here. We've got extra toilet paper and some tissue and cups to rinse out when you're brushing your teeth, washcloths and hand towels, as well as soap. And here you've got your sink, and you've got liquid soap here already, and you've got your hot and your cold. You push these, whoa, wild. You push it and the water will drip out. We've got this here because it was making a ruckus while we were sitting here. Okay, you've got 2 outlets here, which I think is fantastic to have these 2. There's another one in the room. I'll show you that in a minute. And then here you've got a mirror to see yourself. Hello. And then you've also got a light. You can turn that off, or you can even use it as a night light if you wanted to at night when you're sleeping. Now over here in this little corner, is actually a closet. Open that up, and we've got some pillows stuffed in here, and you can see the hangers right there. So back here, we'll take a peek. This is where the other outlet is, and also your temperature control is here. We'll look at the other side in just a moment. You also have a nice little kind of night light right here, or reading light for the person on the bottom bunk, or if you're just gonna sit here and read. We'll get this down in just a minute and fold this out into the bed in a moment, but let me show you a little bit more. You do have your tray table, so you can eat here in the room, or you can eat in the dining car, or you can set this out to work on your computer, or you can sit, you know, to read or play a game or whatever. And then you've got one seat facing forward in this car. It could be reverse depending on what direction they attach it in. You've got a little storage shelf up here, and also a light underneath for reading here, which you can turn on right there. And then this is a storage shelf up here. It does have a lip on it, so that would help something to not just fall down on top of you if you were there. Now, let's go into the bathroom. So this is an all-in-one, and it is a commode and a shower all in one. Now, you would shower, I'll just go ahead and come in here. So there's a drain down here, you can see it down there, and then this is your toilet area here, and there's your flush button. There is a bar in here should you need it. Sometimes the train does kind of shake once it gets going pretty quickly. And then up here we've got our towels stored. You've got the shower head here, and this actually comes off, so if you're not as tall, or you like to just, you know, do a quickie rinse, then that's good. And then in here you would just turn this, which I'm not going to do right now because we're all going to take a shower, and then you would push the button here to get it going. So it's a two-way system, and this actually goes inside here, and you flip this down to cover your toilet paper so that you don't shower your toilet paper, because that would be really bizarre if you try to use your toilet paper after you wet it. It would be like wet wipes, right? Okay, and then I'll show you a little bit more about this up here, but there is the upper bunk here, and you do get a ladder that we'll pull down, and we'll set the whole thing up for you, but we'll set this whole room up for sleeping. And Rob will also be getting out his handy dandy tape measure to measure all of this out for you, and he's also going to give you a tour of his favorite place, is the upper bunk penthouse. So hang on, let's switch this around for you, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're sleeping.
Okay, it's time to go up to the upper bunk, and I was trying to figure out which side I want to sleep on. I think I've chosen the side here by the windows because I'll be less likely to hear people talking in the hallway. So we do have a ladder, so that's going to be hopefully easy. I'm going to try to get up there and see how difficult it is right now. Oh yeah, this is a piece of cake. This is actually pretty big up here. So I measured this a little bit ago, and it's 28 inches wide and 6'2" long. So I'm not 6'2", so this is going to be plenty big for me. And it looks like you got about 22 inches to the ceiling. So you can't quite sit up. You'll hit your head if you do that. But this is really feels more spacious even than a roomette or some of the other rooms I've been on. For a Superliner, I think this is about as spacious as a bunk as you're going to get on the upper level. So let me show you a couple things up here. We do have a little pouch here to put snacks, and I usually put my glasses, my phone, and all that kind of stuff up here. And then we don't have any outlets up here, so that's one thing you're gonna have to figure out, is where to charge your phone and how to set that up. And then as far as the air conditioning goes, this is another reason to sleep on the other end, because see how these vents are angled right at the bed? If your head is right down here where my foot is, then you will, if you show them where my foot is down here, if your head is laying right there, it's like my leg is getting cold just with these vents. So you're gonna probably want to sleep on this end down here, unless you like having air blowing on your head all night, in which case that'll be the perfect spot. But yeah, the other thing you want to do is make sure you hook these up, because you are traveling this way, and you could pretty easily roll out if these aren't there, and there's no wall here to catch you. Like on a roomette, if you kind of rolled out, the wall is right here, so you'd kind of run into the wall before you hit the ground, and it would probably wake you up. On this one, you're just gonna tumble out, roll down the ladder, hit the floor, and that will not be good. So I really like this up here. This is pretty good accommodation. One of the better upper bunks on Amtrak is this Superliner bedroom. So if you end up here, count it as a good thing and enjoy your ride.
All right, so as you can see, there's quite a few advantages to a Superliner bedroom. The first one, obviously, is you have the bathroom inside your room, which is fantastic. The other great thing is you do have views off of both sides. Even if the hallway window is not in your room, you do have a window on your door and you can see right out, and you have easy access if you want to see the sights or if you don't want to use, you know, the observation car. And that's the other advantage as well, is that you are closer to the dining car and the observation car for the most part from the bedroom.
Yeah, now for pricing on the bedroom, they do pretty much double in price from the roomette. So whatever you're going to pay for the roomette, it's going to be about double, and they are about twice as big. So that does kind of make some sense. But that's going to put them in a little bigger price range of, they're going to start at around $1,000 if you're lucky. You could find one for $1,000 depending on how long the route is. But they're going to go up to $1,800 too. So you definitely, if you're going to do a bedroom, want to book ahead to get the best deal, because they will get a little pricey. Now, another thing about the bedroom that I really like and enjoy is that the beds are facing a different direction. So the beds on the bedroom are facing perpendicular to the direction of travel. So in other words, you're laying across. Whereas in a roomette, you're laying with the way the train is going. Now, in a roomette, the thing about the person on the upper level is the top of the train is curved, so you're kind of laying in a little like alcove. But in a bedroom, you're not on the curved part. So you actually have, even though the train is the same height, the person on the upper level has a little bit more room. It feels like a little bit more room. It's because the ceiling is not curved, it's kind of squared off for you. So you do feel like you have a smidge more room in a bedroom on the upper level, even though the ceiling is the same height.
Yeah, that is nice. And the lower bed is also bigger in the bedroom. As you saw, it's not quite double the size of a roomette bed, but like 1.5-ish. Is what it comes out to. So it's a pretty good size. And you do get that extra seat in there as well. So if one person wants to sit and read and another person wants to lay on the couch that you have during the day, that's really nice too. So it's a good option.
Yeah, we love the bedroom. If we can get one, can't always get one either because they're not available or the price though.
Right.
So when you can though, they're a great option.
And that is the thing about the bedrooms, is there are only so many of them on each train. There's only 4 on each Superliner train, 4 regular bedrooms. So those go really quick.
Yeah. So there's another type of room you could be thinking about, and that is the family bedroom. Now, there's only one of those in each car, so they can be hard to find. But if they're not booked, they can also be pretty cheap. We have booked this before for less than the roomette was price. And we have heard of other people that have done the same thing. So sometimes the family bedroom is more than the roomette. Occasionally it can be less, and it is pretty spacious, interesting room. So let's take a look at what the family bedroom looks like right now in a Superliner.
All right, guys, let's take a look here at the family bedroom. Now, ideally, this room is for about 4 people, or if you're looking for more space. There's quite a bit of beds available and seating available for plenty of people in this room, but generally about 4 people, I think, is the max in the family bedroom. So let's take a look around here. First off, take a look here at this panel. You can turn the ceiling light on or off, night or regular daytime, which is how it's set now, so that's going to be a little bit brighter. And you've got controls here for the announcements overhead, so if you want to keep those to a minimum, low or off, so you don't hear them at night when you're sleeping, then just turn that to 0 and then to the blank space. Now, there is only one outlet in this entire room, which is kind of crazy. So if you have one of those little boxes that holds a lot of USB ports. We have one that holds 2, and we have one that holds 4. That is going to be your best option to bring, and then you'll be able to charge more things here if you have more than one thing, which most people do. Okay, so there's that. And we've got a closet right here. So this closet is not very deep, just right here. And you've got some towels here for towels and 4 washcloths. Now there is no bathroom in the family bedroom because the space is taken up by all of the seating and by the bed. So we're going to take a look here at what the seating looks like. So you could sit 2 people in each of these, right? And then, so really like a mom and dad, whatever. And then maybe like a kid here in this seat. And then there's another seat right here behind us. Okay. And then, now this one you'll have to fold down if you're going to use it. The other thing is that you do have your table here, and you have one at the other end as well. So you're going to pull that out and flip out. We're going to keep that in though. And you've got your privacy curtains here as well. Pull those. We'll talk about the upper bunks here in just a second, but you'll see this one here is kind of a shorter one, so that's going to be more for, you know, a small child. And then this one's a little bit longer here. Now, if you do need more space, these 2 do come together right here in the corner. And again, we'll make this up in a little bit and show you what that looks like. And then these all fold down into bed. So it is going to be pretty tight space once you have this all made up, because once these slide out, you're looking at pretty narrow, actually almost a little bit less space than you would have in a regular roomette. You do have a table as well on the other side here. So you've got this little table here, and then you've got a little trash bin and a little place where you can just set some stuff here in the corner as well. So it's pretty spacious for the most part, but when you do have it set up for the beds, it is going to be pretty limited, but that's only going to be at night when you're sleeping. But we'll come back here in just a minute, redo it all, set all the beds up, and we'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. Okay, we've put the beds out, put the uppers down, the ladders attached, and we've got the bed down here all laid out. So this is actually quite wide. It's wider than it would be if you were in a roomette for the lower bunk. So you've got, it feels like it's almost like 1.5 maybe of the length, but Rob will measure that in just a minute. But this is nice if you've got someone who's tall and you're looking to have space and you really do want to sleep. You've got this whole length here to sleep, so it's going to be longer than 6 feet here. So if you're 6 feet or a little bit taller, this is perfect space for you. So this would be a good room for you to stay in. So that's this one. Now what you can do, if you just need the bed itself, you can use just this for an adult, and then that end is actually for a child. So you would actually lay this and then bring this down as well and add it in for a bed, which is actually going to be the same size as this one up here. So these are the mattresses that go down here, and this is the double mattress that goes down here, and you also get some blankets as well, and you've got your uppers to secure you and everything. Now this ladder, this is the best spot for it because both beds could use it. You both have access to it. You've got the stairs right here is perfect for this person, and this person also could reach their bed as well, or child. What I like down here is also that there is room under here to store bags, which is really good to keep the floor space kind of open. So you do have a little bit more space than I thought out here, but back here it's about like in a roomette. So I'm just standing here and just have enough room for myself. But there is also quite a bit more space out here in the middle, and then as you're going out towards the door. So Rob is going to give you a little view of the uppers here, and he's going to bring his handy dandy tape measure with him and give you some more information on the widths and all that kind of good stuff.
Welcome up to the penthouse suite in the family bedroom. I am in the smallest of the 2 upper bunks right now, and it is quite a bit smaller than you would get on a Viewliner as far as headroom goes, but this is great because for a child or for someone that's not super tall, it would be perfect. This bed is 24 inches wide, and I just measured the length of it, and it is 5 feet long. So if you're like a 6-foot adult, this probably isn't gonna be that comfortable, but anybody 5 feet, you know, 5'1" or shorter, it's gonna be perfectly fine. The bigger bed over here that I'm not in is the same width, 24 inches, but it is 6 feet long. Now, one thing to mention about this upper bunk is that it does have about 22 inches of headspace. So if you want to try to sit up, you just can't do it. You're going to be laying down when you're up here. So this is mostly used for sleeping, but if you have a child that is quite a bit smaller than I am, which is likely, they can probably sit up here and do whatever they need. Let me show you a couple features up here that we have. There is an air vent right above you. Now, the thing is that on some of the roomettes, the vents are shooting right out at you. So on this one, they're facing away, which is nice if you don't like it super cold. The other thing is we do have a little pouch back here for your valuables or snacks or anything like that that you might want to use in the middle of the night. There are no windows up here, so that's good if you like it really dark, but a downside if you want to be able to see out in the middle of the night. But other than that, it is a pretty nice place. This family bedroom, of all the rooms on any Amtrak train, this family bedroom offers the most sleeping space because you can easily sleep even a middle schooler or a smaller high schooler up here. You can sleep a full adult on this bed over here, and you can easily sleep an adult down here and another child over here. So you've got room for 4 easily, and if you want to have 2 people on the bottom, this is the room for you, because some people don't like to have someone up top, or neither of you wants to be up here. You could do 2 people down there on the big bed, or 1 on the short bed and 1 on the big bed.
All right, so as you can see, if you're traveling with a family like 2 small children, this is the perfect room for you. And obviously one of the reasons why it's a cheaper option is, as opposed to the bedroom, is because there's no bathroom in that one, obviously. The other great advantage to a family bedroom is that you can see out of both sides, and the windows are actually in your room. And then also the fact that there are 4 beds in there. Again, the 2 beds on the side are obviously for children, because those are, you know, for someone who's under 5 feet tall, or you know, and then you have your 2 regular beds for mom and dad, or 2 adults that go the long way, just like in the regular bedrooms as well. So it's a good option. Now, as Rob said, there's only 1 on each train, and this particular room is downstairs, and it's on one end of the train car. So there's no upstairs for the family bedroom. You will be downstairs, and usually it's a little bit noisier in this particular room because it does sit kind of over, you know, a lot of movements over the
over the wheels. And price wise, like I said, it can be cheap. So it is definitely worth looking into. You will be on the lower level for sure, though, so that is, to us, that's a detriment. But if you had mobility issues, you didn't want to go upstairs anyway, then...
Or if you have 4 of you and you all want to be in the same room, it's definitely a really good option, especially if you have little kids.
And it is the only room where you can put 4 people. So a lot of people think you can cram as many people as you want into the bedroom. They won't let you do that.
Doesn't work that way.
You can only put 2 people in the bedroom and 2 people in a roomette. Now, if you have like a really small baby, we have seen them put one of those in a bedroom before. But if you have like 4 people, you're just not going to be able to do it. You'd have to get 2 roomettes or 2 bedrooms, which would be a lot more than getting the family bedroom.
Right. Yeah.
There's another type of train, room on this train, and that is the accessible room, which is on the other end of the hallway that the family bedroom is on. So let's take a look at what that looks like right now.
Okay, so let's take a look at the bed portion here. So this is very simple to get into. It's going to be very similar setup to in a regular roomette. It's basically about this much space here. So this would be about what a regular roomette would be like. So first of all, you've got your handlebars here, which is great. It's going to help you get up and out of the bed if you need to. And you've got call buttons on both sides. So here's one, and then there's one on the other side, as well as a reading light. And as I mentioned, you've got the call button here, and you've got a reading light here. So these two are going to fold out into a bed. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then the panel on this side is going to show you, is going to do the warmer and the cooler. Now guys, here's the thing, is that this isn't going to drastically change the temperature in the room. It's going to be a mild difference. So don't think if you put it on cold that you're suddenly going to be in a meat locker, or if you put it on warm that it's going to be like, you know, you're laying by the beach, okay? So just know that there are differences. Also, there is a room air control here. You can open or close it. So that's going to close that vent up above to change the control of the room. And I can actually see it moving from from here. If you're looking at it, you could see the little things moving inside, the little shields inside. So the rest of the panel here, you do the temperature control, and there is one outlet here, and then there is one over by the sink, which we'll show you in just a minute. So in this room, you've got your one outlet here, just like you would have in a regular roomette. And then you've got your, it says music control, and if you've seen our review of the roomette, the music control really means that you're controlling the volume of the announcements. So when the conductor or the attendants or the dining car attendants get on and give you announcements, they're going to be coming through here. And then at the bottom, you get another call button, and you also get the light switch for up above. And so you've got two lights up here. One of them stays on, is a little bit dimmer, and that one stays on for your night light at night, okay? So the top bunk is folded down here. So when it's not down, it's like this. So you got quite a bit of space, and it snaps into place. So I'm standing here, like I mentioned, I'm 5'4", and I'm standing up here if I wanted to stand here, or if I want to walk around anywhere in the room. Now let's pull that bed down and have a look-see up here. All right, so during the day, the mattress for the lower bunk is stored up here very easily, and then you got your here. Make sure if you're the person coming up to the top, you're using these up here to buckle yourself in, because you know, there is quite a bit of rocking and rolling on some of these trains, and you don't want to roll out obviously into the middle of the night. You're going to end up on the floor, okay? And then the nice thing back here is they do have this netting and the little pocket, which we all know Rob loves these. He likes to store his phone, his snacks, headphones, and stuff like that for at night for himself. And then, like I said before, this is the mattress that's going to go down here. I'll show you what that all looks like in a minute, but first we're going to go to the other side of the room. Before we do that, I'm going to show you the steps, how to get up here. We're going to go to the other side of the room and go to the bathroom, or show you the bathroom. So steps are exactly the same as in a regular roomette, here, and you're right up into the bed. So no ladder required like you would need in a Viewliner roomette. All right, so here's the bathroom, guys. It's on the other side of the room, directly across from the bed. But see this? People who are thinking, I don't want to go to the bathroom with someone looking at me. No problem. See you later. You would just close that curtain very simply, and then the other person doesn't have to see you going to the bathroom. You can have your privacy, and if you need an assistant or something, they can come and help you very quickly. Now, you've got not only this bar here, but you've got this bar here, okay, for accessing the toilet, which it gives you plenty of room too. If you can see here, look at how wide that is. If you've got a wheelchair, this is a wide door here, so you're gonna be able to bring that in, and they'll store the chair out here for you, and you'll be able to have access to this very easily, guys, because there's a ton of room. You've got a nice big trash can here, and then you've got your sink area here, and here's the other outlet for you, tissue and towels, a couple of mirrors, cups for rinsing out your mouth, and there is a a mirror light switch here, turn it on or off right there. Now here's a cool thing that I really like about this room is you've got windows on both sides, guys. So this is about the size, lengthwise, it's the size of the full train. So you can look on this side, or you can look over here as you're sitting. So if something cool is going by on that side and you want to see it, you can go right on over to the other side.
Now, the accessible bedroom is probably the hardest room to get. In fact,
it's very difficult to get. A
Most
lot of people aren't
yeah.
even sure, don't even know it exists because it never shows up because it is always booked. Like the family bedroom, there is only one.
Yeah, and it, for some reason,
in each train car.
it's booked way more than the family bedroom. So if you're not seeing an accessible bedroom, call in to the Amtrak reservations, because they can look ahead in the schedule a lot easier and tell you what day it might be available. Otherwise, you're going to have to type in like
Every single
date, and it might take 100 dates for you to find this room available. It is that hard to get. But if you need that accessible bedroom, it is worth it because it is very spacious. It basically feels like a roomette on one side and then a bedroom
on the other side. It's nice. It does give you everything that you need. We've seen it. I mean, it's always been full anytime we've ever been on the train. We just had access to be able to show it to you guys. But it's a nice room. It is spacious. You have that full bathroom. You get the view out of both sides, and then you get the 2 beds. The person traveling with you does need to be able to obviously get into that upper bed because there are it's not 2 beds on the bottom. As we showed you, you do have a top and a bottom. So there's that. I think it's a good option if you're able to get it. Like Rob said, the best thing to do if you really need it is to go ahead and call Amtrak, and they'll help you track it down.
Now, price-wise, this is going to be the most expensive room, and it is big. It's pretty big, but it is rare and in demand. So the price is always high. I mean, I think you're looking at probably $1,200 to $1,500 for 2 people. Yeah, and just depending on when you go and everything, but that's about what we've seen on that. So it's not the cheapest, but if you definitely need that, it's going to make your trip a lot more enjoyable. And they will bring you, if you're in any of those lower rooms and you have mobility issues, they will bring your meals to you if you don't want to go upstairs, so you don't have to worry about the stairs unless you really do want to go up there. Right. Now, let's talk a little bit about what the best type of room might be for certain types of people, because we do get asked a lot different scenarios, and this may fit you. Right. What if there's 2 people that want to both be on the bottom bed? Well, that's a problem because
that's tough. 2 people don't fit down
there's no room unless you're really small. There's no room where 2 people fit on the bottom bed. So what we've seen them do is get 2 roomettes across the hall from each other.
We have seen that actually quite a few times, and you can call and book roomettes right across the hall from each other, and they'll set that all up for you.
Yeah, and that way they kind of both keep the doors open. They can talk across the hall. They kind of make it like a side-to-side 2-room suite. So it's a little more to do it that way, but it's probably not that much more than just getting a bedroom. Right. What you lose doing that is you lose your private bathroom. Right. Doing that way. But you both get to sleep on the bottom. So if just neither of you can get up to the top, get 2 roomettes across the hall, and that will work really, really well. Now, we have also seen groups of the 3 or 4 people, and maybe the parents want to stay in a room and the kids are back in coach. So we've seen that before too. And the whole trip was, I'm thinking of one particular family. It was a mom and a dad and their daughter, and it was their daughter's idea to take this trip, and they put her in coach and they got a roommate. That was, I guess, a way to save a little money. But they said she was enjoying her trip, so maybe they needed. Maybe they wanted some space. Now she was a teenager, so I think that's okay. So that's another thing you can do. But really, if you want 2 people on the lower level, there aren't a ton of options for that, other than getting to rooms.
And that does also bring up the question, if somebody in your party has a coach seat, can they come back and stay with you in your room? Well, by Amtrak rules, you cannot do that. It's a part of their, rules. You cannot do that. However, it is slightly dependent on your attendant. So you can ask and say, hey, our daughter is in, coach, can she come back here and sit with us? And I have seen them do that. It wasn't with this particular family, but I have seen them do that. Or this family, the daughter bought food in the snack bar and she came in, ate dinner with them while they were having their dinner in the dining car when we were there. So she brought her food from the snack bar.
Yeah.
And brought it over from the cafe.
Now, just about speaking of food, all of these trains, not all, because not the auto train, but pretty much the rest of the trains, except for part of the Texas Eagle and I think the Capital Limited, are going to have traditional dining right now. And that is included. That is the full scale, full service dining menu.
White tablecloth, flowers on the table.
Yeah.
On some trains, you get music.
Yeah. So it is worth doing. These are kind of the premier cross-country trips. So if you're trying to decide between a Superliner train and a Viewliner train, the Superliners have the traditional dining. They also have the observation cars for the most part. They don't all have them, but for the most part, they're going to have observation cars, whereas the Viewliners, none of them will have an observation car, and they have a different dining menu for the most part. So these are kind of the premier overnight cross-country kind of romantic Amtrak train journeys.
Quintessential, train journey rides. These are the top ones.
If you want to have that one Amtrak experience, you want one of these trains that we listed at the beginning here, and you want one of these rooms on that train. Pick whichever one fits your need and your budget, and you will have an amazing vacation.